Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 39 of Around the Kingdom, a Disney Magic Kingdoms podcast by a guy who has no worries for the rest of his days. Coming to you once again from Pride Rock, I am your host, Steve Squirrel, and back with me is Kingdom Builder Extraordinaire, Daniel Guizar. Daniel, say hello.
Hi, how are you guys? Thanks for having me again.
We're so happy to have you back. It's been too long since you've been on the show, and we're super excited to have you. We are right in the thick of the Tower Challenge, and this is going to be a great episode, and you're only going to make it better. And I want to say thank you to each and every one of you out there for joining us this week as we explore the wonderful world of Disney Magic Kingdoms. Before we get started, I want to thank our Patreons, Carrie Schumann, Kathy Clausen, Honeybee, Kira, and Tom Higgins. You guys are the best. If you don't know what Patreon is, it's a site where you can pledge a few bucks each month to help support the show. So if you're able to and you want to help support the show, please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/AroundTheKingdom. There are other ways you could be more involved with the show also. You could follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. We have a very active Facebook group, and it's a great way to stay in touch with me and the community of the show. We also have a brand new Discord channel where you can chat with me and the other members of the community. So come join us. The links to everything will be in the show notes and can also be found on the show's main Facebook page. The kingdom is always changing, so for reference, this show is being recorded Tuesday, July 16th at around 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. All right, that's it. All that stuff out of the way. It's time to get into the heart of the show. Daniel, what's been going on in your kingdom this week?
So right now it's been just focusing on the main storyline and the Tower Challenge. So I'm pretty much going back and forth on both of them. So I'm working on the new characters that came out, and I'm also working on the other characters. I'm still currently upgrading characters as I go also, and I have been upgrading. I've already welcomed all the new ones: Huey, Dewey, Luke, and Scrooge McDuck. I already welcomed the Toy Story characters as well recently from earlier this month, and then I have, let's see, where levels are at? Let's see, Scrooge McDuck I have a level 4. Huey's at level 4 also. Dewey's at level 3, going to 4, I think, ready to go to 4. And then Louis is level 2. And then I have Bunny at level 8. Same with Ducky and Forky. They're all 8 and they're all ready to go.
Wow, you're doing some really good progress with them.
Yeah, I'm great. Yeah, I'm currently leveling up Senna at level 9. She's currently upgrading to that level. I should have had her at maxed out, but I was waiting for a little bit. And then I also recently upgraded Raja at level. He's not easy. He's hard.
Yes, his tokens are not easy to collect.
Such a pain.
And listen, let's all be honest. The epic tokens are way more hard to get than the legendary tokens.
For real. For real though. And it's like, and sometimes legendaries are easy, but depending on the character, like Clear Pan, for example, no, that was a pain. That was a pain behind me.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then I also welcome the other two hyenas, Ed and Banzai. Ed is at level 5 and Banzai is at level 2. I haven't really upgraded them as much because I'm trying to save up the currency.
Yeah.
Because it uses event currency.
I was
trying to. Oh, you were trying to what?
I was about to level up Banzai, and then Teal in the group, she posted, she's like, don't level up your characters, it costs EC, and I was like, ooh, yeah, that would be a bad idea right now.
Yeah, it's a bad idea. Well, unless you have plenty of currency, then go for it by all means, but if not, I would just wait it out until you welcomed Shen. That way you can start upgrading them. Because pretty much once you've already up Shenzi, it's pretty much going to be use the currency for just leveling up Banzai. if you choose to, unless you want to wait.
Yeah, it's true.
And then, oh, and Shinzi, I have all the tokens for the second set. So now I'm just saving up for the third set.
Awesome.
Hmm.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like you had a very, very busy and productive week, to say the least.
Very.
I've had a lot going on too. So
Okay.
this week, for my main storyline, I finally collected enough tokens to welcome Dumbo and Huey. But with all the leveling that I have going on between Tower Challenge characters and everything else, I just needed to put them on hold. And I'll probably welcome them once Chapter 3 begins. And I don't
Yeah.
need to start leveling the Chapter 3 characters. I'll probably bring both of them into my kingdom. I actually just need to grind some magic out. But I will welcome them into my kingdom. For building upgrades, I was able to upgrade Daisy's Diner again. So now Daisy's Diner is at level 2. And I'm very close, once I get it to 3, to be able to get it to start dropping Dewey's Plain token, which I'm super excited about. So now I just got to get
Yeah.
some more blueprints, and I'll be ready for that.
It was actually thanks to that extra tokens that they gave us, the relics and novels, because of that, I was able to get it to a because I already had it like at a 2, and since we had enough of because they gave us extra common tokens and the uncommon tokens, and that's what it gave us. And that's what gave me an opportunity. Well, actually, I can level up any other building if I want. I'm just waiting for the right time. I
Yeah,
don't want to waste it. I don't want to waste.
no, definitely not.
I don't want to waste them yet. Not at least not yet until they're actually more.
So, well, and so for everyone out there, just a little piece of advice. So Daniel's group that he's an admin of is called Disney Magical Kingdoms Champions group. It's an amazing group. It's huge. There's so many people in there that are talking and just sharing awesome stuff about the show. And one of the things they have in there that is amazing is that they have a spreadsheet that has all of the different attractions and what they get at each level for enchanting them. So
Mhm.
that's really important to make sure that you go check that out because you want to choose the right path for you. There's no set answer for what's the best thing to level up. It's all about where you're at in the game, who you're leveling, who you already have leveled. So it's a great resource. So make sure you if you're not in Daniel's group, which you should be, but if you're not, make sure you go ahead, join it, and check out that spreadsheet so that you have a better head up on who you should be or what you should be enchanting.
Oh, one thing I want to add too. Also, if you go to Disney Girl and Geeky Chicks on video, they'll probably mention that those building enchantments.
Okay.
Especially, think I saw from Disney Girl. She was the one that mentioned them, and she was going one by one and going through all of them.
Well, we have a feature report coming up later in the show that mentions something about this that might make it a little bit easier for everyone. So we'll talk about that in a bit. So what else happened? I melted down a lot of things. I went through, and because of all of the huge buffs to the elixirs that were put out there, I was able to melt down a lot of stuff and acquire everything that was left in Merlin's shop. So I was able to get Bo Peep's costume, which was
Cool.
super exciting, and I think about 5 attractions. There was I spent 150,000 elixir on attractions. So things like the Carousel of Progress and Davy Jones' Organ and the Primeval Whirl and the 2
Wow.
Aladdin attractions. Yeah, Toy Story Mania. So I was able to clear out the shop, and it felt good
Wow.
to finish
Seems like you were able to get everything.
Yeah, it's great.
Wow.
And the way that I did that is a little bit different because I wanted to make sure I made the right decision for me. So what I did in our group, in the around the Kingdom podcast group, is I made a spreadsheet for all of the concession stands and what collection times they now have. These changed a lot in the most recent update. A lot of things went from just a few minutes to 12 hours. So there were drastic changes in what the concession stand collection times are, and that will decrease your magic production if that's not how you play. So if you play every 2 hours and the things you were collecting for were 2 hour type collectors and now they're 8 hours or 12 hours, you're not getting as much magic as you should be. So we made a spreadsheet. We got most of the concessions now in there, and the collect, it has the amount of magic, the name, the amount of magic you collect, and the collection time. So since I'm a 2 to 4 hour player, I check the game every 2 to 4 hours. I made sure to maximize the amount of 2 and 4 hour attractions that were out there, so that I was getting the most magic, the most bang for my buck as far as magic goes. So the things that I melted down first, now I always keep one of everything just to kind of have it, but the things that I melted down first were things that were 12-hour collects, 8-hour collects, even 6. And I really tried to focus on 2-hour, 4-hour, and then some 6-hour collection times for my attractions or my concessions. So, that being said, if you need some guidance with that, come check out our group. The spreadsheet is there. It's a Google Doc in our files area, and you should check that out. I want to give a big special thanks to Patricia and Austin for helping out, because they were huge helpers in getting this spreadsheet made. Have you noticed did you have to rearrange, speaking of rearranging, the park rearranging extraordinaire, Daniel, did you find that you had to change a lot of your concession stands around after the patch came out?
Well, to be honest, I didn't really have to as much because I have more than enough magic to start off with, and I have if I have about maybe 37 million magic potions.
Whoa!
I'm not kidding. So yeah, it's not really a big deal for me because
Yeah.
I've been playing for so long, and then I have been hoarding all that magic potion for so long, and
Sure.
it's like, so I'm really not stressing over that because I'm trying. For those who are new, yeah, I can see why they would rearrange their parks, put the concessions that are worth more, and then which ones are not are useless and everything. But for me, it's not really a thing for me right now. I want to rearrange my park at some point, but it's probably gonna be a while until when they start opening. I mean, we still got the money bin for DuckTales, and I still haven't figured out where I was gonna put that thing in there. So I might have to rearrange it eventually, just to put. So I might have to sacrifice something for yeah. So it's just gonna depend on where I'm gonna put it. I have no idea.
It's funny.
I have no idea.
I was thinking about it, and I was putting a lot of things down that I just really kind of didn't want to put down. But, I'm in just such a mode where I need to collect as much magic as possible for welcoming characters, leveling characters, saving up for a future plot of land that might open. So I'm just so stuck with magic collecting. But I said to myself, I'm like, as I get to a point where things get better and I can start putting things down for aesthetics versus need and necessity. So there's a balance, that you have to do. But again, when it comes down to it, you got to do whatever makes you happy, right? That's the number one most important thing.
Yeah.
So for my leveling this week, during Chapter 1, I worked on leveling Chapter 2 characters. And then once Chapter 2 began, I started working on Chapter 3 characters. So right now I have Prince Eric going to 10, which is super important considering he is the featured character in Chapter 3. So that would be a huge advantage for me going into that chapter. All right, and then my lifetime visitors board I'm at rank 84,603. So I'm working my way down. I'm getting far. Daniel, do you have your game open? Do you know what your rank is?
I think. Oh, you mean the lifetime visitor?
Yeah, not the total visitors, but your rank on the lifetime visitors board.
I don't remember. I think it's think I'm like in the 200s, if
Tops.
I'm not mistaken.
That's awesome. One day.
I think,
One day I
yeah.
will be there.
Just keep playing. You'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes time to get there. I know, and it's not easy to get to the top thousands or something like. But I mean, I'm somewhere around there. I'm not sure exactly where, but I mean, I'm somewhere around there.
Sure. All right.
Hmm.
Well, cool. Well, it sounds like we both had really, really awesome weeks in our kingdom.
Yeah, you
So
did pretty well.
yeah, awesome. All right. Well, let's move on. We now are in my favorite segment because I let somebody else do it. It's the newcomer tip of the week. Daniel, what have you got for us this week?
This is more for like gem per se because I noticed that people will say what is useful for to them and what is not useful to use your gems on and so forth. Because everybody uses them different ways. Some of them use them to speed up their progress. Some of them use them to get character. Some of them use them to get premium building. Um, a lot of they use it even for chests as well. They use the gems on occasions like legendary chests or chests like the new ones, the ones that we got. But and the thing is, people have been always wondering. Is it worth using your gems on this? Is it worth using them on gems? It just depends on your situation. If you're short on gems, I would just save them and not speed things up. That way you have enough for yourself. If one has like over 3,000 gems, like maybe myself, maybe myself, it may not be an issue because I could easily skip the timer if I wanted to. Like say, Dewey was 24. No, yeah, Dewey was about like 12, 24 hours, and it just skipped it only because I had enough gems for it. Otherwise, I would have not gemmed. And there are people who are use bundles and stuff. So the point is that I want to say is, it doesn't matter what you do as long as if you feel like you want to gem something, then gem it. But if you feel like it's not going to be worth doing it, then don't. It's just up to you and depending on the person. Yes, there are some people that get upset because one speeds it up and like gets hissy fitty because why did this person speed it up? We have a lot of time and stuff like that. Keep in mind that's how one plays. Just because one plays like that doesn't mean you have to play like that. It's not a race. It's just a way of saying, oh, I'm gonna take my time, or I'm gonna. Some just speed it up because they have to work or they have to go to school or they have other obligations and they don't have time to just go in. So my
Sure.
advice, just use it whenever you can use it. And if you can buy gems, great. If you don't want to buy gems, that's okay. You always have the video thing that would that always converts for one gem, no, two gems per day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I love it. I think that's great. That's one of the most common things that people ask is how to do gems and what works best. And I think that's really good, solid advice. So awesome. All right. So let's move on into the game news. So before we get into the Tower Challenge discussion and all the stuff going on in there are two big pieces of breaking news that we have from today. So let's just address them now and get them out of the way, and then we can start discussing other things that are going on. So the first thing is that there was a big kind of I don't want to say uproar, but people were a little concerned when the Chapter 2 of the Tower Challenge came out. We knew that Timon would be the premium character, or the character you were able to acquire with event currency, and Timon cost 15,000 event currency. And people were not quite used to that for a level, Chapter 2 character. It threw them off, to say the least. So we didn't hear anything. So we didn't hear anything over the weekend. And so, or I should, for the past few days, I guess, past 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, or Sunday, Monday, Anyway,
Sunday and Monday.
yeah, Sunday, Monday, we didn't hear anything. So people were kind of, I was kind of just thinking, all right, well, I guess like if you're not going to complete the tower challenge, like maybe this is just what you shoot for. Like if you're just lower level and, this would be kind of like your end game. At first I thought it was just a bug. Like I thought maybe just someone threw an extra 0 in there, and they just didn't catch it. But a lot of people were posting that when they wrote to Gameloft and they opened up a ticket, that Gameloft customer service was saying that this was intended. They checked with people and that this wasn't an intended amount. The number is correct. And so people were like, wow, okay, I guess this is correct. I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
So today, there is breaking news that came out in the news section of the game. And it says, it's called Tower Shop Prices. And it says, thanks for your feedback. We've addressed a pricing issue on Chapter 2 and Chapter 3 Tower Shop content. Compensation for players who have already purchased Timon or the Festival of the Lion King will follow soon. And they've changed the pricing. So Timon is now only 5,000 Maleficent coins as opposed to 15,000. And the Festival of the Lion King is 2,500 Maleficent coins.
Yep.
However, just as a side note, for Chapter 3, Nala is 12,500 event currency. And the Tree of Life is 5,000 Maleficent coins.
Yep.
So let's talk about this. Daniel, what was your experience with this? Obviously we know you have Timon as well as I do and the stuff, but what was your gauge of the reaction of the community, and what are your thoughts around this whole spectacle?
It was kind of when I saw it on, I didn't notice the price until I went to the groups, because for me, because if you have Timon, you will see the little check mark already set, and same with Nala. If you have the check mark, you have the check mark, and you don't see the price there. But the thing is, when I saw it in the groups, I was shocked actually. I was kind of surprised that it was 15,000 especially for a tower challenge, because somebody told me that Mulan was 5,000 event currency from the last tower challenge from the Cricky event. And funny thing is, Timon was 15,000, and I was like, wow, he was much more expensive than Mulan was.
Yep.
And I was shocked. But then when I was seeing the people's uproar, it was just hilariously funny. I'm sorry, but it was just funny. The way how people just whine and complain about it. They say, oh, DMK is so greedy. Oh, DMK should be ashamed of themselves. They should be embarrassed and all that other stuff. I was like, it's just funny how people's reactions were. But you know what? In some ways, it was good that they acted that way. Now DMK is listening to that, and then they just decided to change it to 5,000, which is a fair price for Timon. Nala was no surprise there. It was like 12,000. That's about right. I mean, for newer players, you don't expect to get the main price. You expect to get characters that you haven't gotten from before, from the last Lion King.
Sure.
And yeah.
Sure. So I guess here's my question for you. Do you think that it was intended to be 15,000? Like it was on purpose, or do you think that was a mistake?
Honestly, I have no idea. I don't know what the intentions were. Could it be the original price? Possibly. But after seeing the uproar, they probably lowered it because it scared a lot of people.
Yeah.
With that number. But I'm assuming, if I was to be safe, probably that was their intention of that price. It wouldn't surprise me if it was.
So if it was, what do you think Nala would be? 25,000?
Oh God. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Maybe the same price. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. We wouldn't know because
Yeah.
It's not. They haven't really mentioned until now, because that was more of a mystery. Nala was more. People were concerned of that. People were saying, "Oh, it's not gonna be 20,000. Is it
Yeah.
gonna be 25,000?
Yeah. It was legitimate
It's
questions.
like,
So,
yeah. Everybody was questioning everything. They were saying, boycott DMK, boycott. I refuse to spend a dime. I was like, oh my god, it just made me, it just cracked me up.
yeah. Well, it definitely was interesting. There was definitely a big community reaction. My gut from the beginning was that it was a typo that just wasn't caught, and that it should have been 15, or 5,000 or 1,500 or whatever it was. I just felt like there was a typo, but I don't know. There's no way to know. Today I was able to like talk to some people and be like, you know what? I could see how, if you're just going for the characters and the attractions, that 15,000 is actually doable. For someone with a decent, collection who's kind of like in the middle. Not like someone who's gonna rock the tower challenge on easy mode, but not someone who's like day two. So,
Yeah. But
that
that's the thing. Go ahead.
it's also different because this is the first time that they did a tower challenge with 3 characters from the same set. So
Yeah.
getting one character in a set, you're just kind of like, okay, I have one character in a set, but you're really building a collection here. Additionally, Timon is used for a lot of the side quests, right?
Yeah, it is.
You need Timon to do the quests to get
To
Banzai.
unlock- Yeah, to get Banzai. Speaking of Banzai, haven't you noticed that there was like some people were complaining the quest and they were only getting like 6 out of 7.
Yes, we will talk about that in 1 second. Let's just wrap.
Yeah,
Let's just wrap up this. So anyway, final thoughts on this is that I'm glad that they changed the pricing. I'm glad that people, if people did actually have 15,000 EC and spent it, or on the festival, that they're going to get their EC back. You probably expect that in a day. They usually are pretty quick about that.
I wonder if it's going to be everybody or certain people who spend.
I mean, it's everyone who spent it on those 2. It's only going to be the people that actually spent it on Timon and the Festival of Lion King. It's not
because
going
I was hearing a couple saying that, oh, I just spent 15,000. Like they just spent it because they wanted to get.
Yeah. No, they'll get it back, but only people who have purchased Timon or the festival will get it. So
that seems fair.
Yeah,
I think it's fair
fair.
for them to do that because it's a lot of miscommunication and I feel like it's a misunderstanding. So I feel like I think they should be more compensated for what they did.
Yes. All right, so that's the end of Timon Gate. So we will see how that goes. But yes, the other thing you wanted to talk about, which I wanted to address before we really got into things, was Banzai. Now, Banzai, the way that you acquire him, which we'll talk about in a minute, is doing quests, and each quest drops a set of ears. And you need to complete 7 quests to get 7 ears, as well as his other tokens. So people were saying that they did all the quests, and they just didn't get the ears. Like, I see some people 6 out of 7. That was usually how it was. Some people were 5 out of 7, 3 out of 7, 2 out of 7. They just weren't getting ears to drop. A common thing that I heard of, and I don't know if this is the case, is that people who use gems to speed up the quests had an issue. But again, I can't confirm any of that. That's just kind of what was going on in the community. Anyway, this morning I was the first, to, at least in the community as I saw, to find this because I was doing show notes and I was looking around trying to put some stuff up, and I was able to find on the Disney Magic Kingdom forum under known issues a statement about Banzai's ears, and it says, so under investigation, it says, I didn't get all my tokens for completing a quest. It says, we've received several complaints from players that they've completed all the quests with Timon and Pumbaa to earn Banzai ears hat tokens, but some of the rewards were missed. Please be assured that the issue is already known and we are currently investigating it. So they know about it. So that being said, it's super important that you go and open the button on the top right of your game. That will bring up a menu. Go to customer care, go to, need more information or whatever, and then open up a ticket. You put in your name, your ID, what OS you're on, and that opens up a case for you. And as long as you have these cases, then they'll know who to compensate, who to get to first, who to make sure they can take care of when they do find a fix for this. So
Right.
that's the most important thing. You might get an answer just back something like, oh, okay, we're looking into it or whatever, but at least your case is on file. And when they come up with a fix, they go through all of them and they just take care of everybody at once. So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
that,
I think they just investigate. That's the good thing about the game. When something bad like this happens, they look into it and see what. That's what I've noticed.
yeah, well, they have their development team, I'm sure, that's looking at it, trying to figure
Yeah.
out, replicate the issue and see how to fix it. So they're working
Yeah.
on it. Hopefully we'll hear something soon, and hopefully you guys can get your ears soon because Banzai's a help. You want to get Banzai. So
Especially if he's going to be a help for chapter 3.
exactly.
Hmm.
All right. So one other thing to point out, that Holly, a listener of the show and part of our community, pointed out to me that now it costs 20 gems to refresh a character, as opposed to 10 previously. So if you were out of refreshers and you wanted to refresh some characters just to get them going to attack the tower, it would cost 10 gems per character to refresh them. It's now gone up to 20.
Yeah.
That's just something interesting to note. I feel like 10 was a fair price. I don't
I
know.
think 20 was a little bit much.
Yeah, I feel like 20 is a lot. I felt like 10's a fair price. I mean, 10 gems is a lot of gems when you think about it.
Yeah, it is.
And if you're going to be refreshing 10 people throughout an event, that's 100 gems.
I have to say the refresh tokens in this one was kind of tricky. To me they were tricky because they weren't even dropping. They were not dropping at all. So I mean, Ed, don't get me wrong, Ed was a big help with the refresh tokens, but everybody else was like slacking off. I'm serious. They were just stubborn when they were throwing out this refresh. And there was a point where I got to 0, and I was like, oh no. And it was 20 gem. So, and they had that bundle for $3, I think it was, for 6 chests and
Yes.
the magical chest from chapter 1. So I thought about it and I said, okay, should I spend 20 gems or should I do the bundle and save myself the gems and not waste them? So at first I did the 20 gem just to start off. It did ate up a lot of my gems actually. I'm not gonna lie. But it did in some ways. So, but I needed the event currency, so it was necessary. But then I thought about it. I said, well, you know what? $3 is not that bad. So I just went for the chest. I did 6. Well, I did it like 3, 6, 9. Well, I did it like 3, 4 times, and I ended up with like 20 refresh tokens. That was more than enough to keep me up until before I ran.
Cool.
Did you do the bundle?
No, I didn't do the bundle. I've slowed down this tower challenge a lot. The last few tower challenges, my young daughter, was like waking up throughout the night, all night.
Mm-hmm.
So I was up like every 2 hours. So I was able to kind of just go every 2 hours, and sadly, I was up every 2 hours, so I was able to just go and send everyone out. So refresh tokens were tough for me, and very hard to come by. But I'm actually sleeping a solid 8 hours at night now. So I don't play at night anymore. I just sleep through the night. It's fantastic, and so I'm just playing during waking hours. But really, that's a lot of cocoa and refreshes that when you think about those nighttime hours, even 2 or 3, at night. So. Yeah, so I found that I actually have a pretty good surplus of refreshers now, so I'm just going. I'm not trying. I already have my Maleficent horn stands, so I'm not too concerned. I just want to make sure I have enough EC to finish.
Uh-huh. The points I'm not worried about actually. The more and more, the only thing I'm worried about is the currency. That's why I'm focused, which is probably the reason why I'm like in the top spot because I don't pay attention to it. And every time I look, I always start like at 23, 15, and then eventually I go to the top five. It's like, whoa, how did I get to the top five? I wasn't even trying because I was just logging in every 2 hours just to get the currency. That was my main focus of it. Yeah.
All right, cool. So
Mhm.
that's the news from that chapter. So let's just quickly. That's the news from the game. So let's just go now into the tower challenge itself. Um, since I didn't speak to you last week, I have some questions which I'm pretty sure I know all the answers to. But did you get all of the rewards and the Antelope Rice Cracker stand? And did you get all of Shenzi's bone tokens?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So,
Hmm.
let's just talk. What are your brief thoughts on going back to chapter one? On your overall thoughts on the pacing, and how the tower challenge was, after completing chapter one.
I started off kind of slow with chapter one, to be honest, because of the refresh tokens, as I mentioned. But as soon as I bought more with the bundle and everything, it kind of sped up a little more. Now it's starting to go at a good pace now. Because I started off slow in the beginning because I didn't know what characters to send and whatnot. But then now that I know more or less, now I can sort of focus on who should I send or should I not. But I mean, overall, it wasn't that bad of a chapter. It was pretty. It was an easy chapter. Unless you're missing quite a bit of the characters, which I know some might miss out on.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a really good chapter.
Mhm.
I think the pacing for it overall is really good. I feel like it's really fun to have um, really fun to just have three characters that you're going for. I mean, you get Ed, but to be going for two characters is fun. I think it brings a lot of excitement to going into chapter two instead of just like, okay, it's chapter two, but now you're looking forward to doing those quests so you can get Banzai. So you're getting, if you think about it, if you buy Ed, you're getting
Yeah.
one character each chapter.
Yeah.
Right now, it's not just a stand you're getting, but you're getting a stand, you're getting a character. It's cool. So it keeps the tower challenge less monotonous, and I really enjoy it.
Hmm. Personally, I do like the way how they do the bundle. I know some are not so crazy about it because, like, I bought the bundle with Ed, and because it included his token, and it also a few of Shenzi's ears, so that kind of helped in some ways. And I think the way how they're doing it now, certain bundles work, but certain bundles I don't think work. Like that Slinky Dog one, I did not like that bundle. It
Yeah.
was that was a it was a letdown because that bundle was with the hot dog stand, and I already have the hot dog stand. Ugh.
See, but now the hot dog stand is 2,000, or no, I guess 1,000 elixir, right?
Oh
So
my, yeah, I can
so
see. Yeah, that's why.
so for people who are short on elixir, that's not too shabby.
For them, yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. Hmm.
Okay, so that's chapter one. So let's talk about where we are right now, and where we are right now is chapter two. So let's just have a brief what's going on in chapter two. So of course, with the Incredibles being the featured collection in chapter one, their legendary chests were available from the beginning of the event. And are now available through the remainder of the event for the usual price of 60 gems each, or $9.99 for a six pack. So if you need some Incredibles chests, you can get them throughout the rest of the event. Beginning in the
Nice.
chapter 2, we get our first glimpse at Princess and the Frog legendary chests, for the usual price. I think this is the first time that they've been offered. Is that right, Daniel? Have you seen them before? This is the first time, right?
Actually, yeah, I think this is the first time that they have ever offered.
Yeah.
I think that, yeah, I've never seen the Princess and the Frog Legendary, nor the Moana. I think that one and Moana are the only two that haven't been released yet.
Yes. So yeah. So it was.
No, Little Mermaid has, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's definitely been Little Mermaid chests before.
Okay.
So the only item, so I checked out the chest, I looked inside of them, and the only item that I have at epic or above
Yeah.
is the green cream soda stand, which is guaranteed.
Yeah.
And we all
You,
know my
you missed out
thoughts.
on that. You
Yes,
missed.
I
You
tried,
missed it.
and I tried, and I tried, and I tried,
You still didn't get
and I tried every
it.
night. 25
Oh man,
gems, never got it. So
poor you.
I don't know. It might just happen. It might be a $10 concession stand, but we'll have to see.
Oh god.
So
But
anyway,
have you tried a legendary chest yet?
what, to spend gems on it? No, because I won't
Yeah.
get it. Come on, forget about it. I'm not gonna get it. I'm gonna get the this whatever decoration that there is. I'll get it. Or I'll just, or you know what will happen? Like some for some reason, like the thing will be flashing on the screen, and then I'll press it, and it will just be someone that goes, you know, it won't even be anything. It will just like it'll take magic away from me.
Yeah, I know how that feels.
So,
Trust me. Yeah.
all right. So what else? So now at the beginning of chapter 2, radiant chests became available as the chests from chapter 1 went away. The radiant chests begin at chapter 2, and you can collect the tokens for the characters featured in this chapter. You can also, there also is a decoration, as well as happiness and event currency. These are 30 gems each, or $2.99 for a 6-pack. Okay, so let's talk now about Banzai. Since Banzai became available in this chapter, let's just talk about Banzai a little bit. Okay, so Banzai is earnable with the Lion King quests. Banzai costs 2,500 EC, and it takes 4 hours to welcome. It requires 20 of the lion painting tokens, which are the common tokens, 15 of Banzai's bones, which were uncommon and pretty easy to collect through various means, whether it was the mystery reward or just sending your characters out to get them. And then you needed 7 of Banzai's ears, which were, as we talked about, the quests that have to be done with Timon and Pumbaa. So let's just talk real quick about Banzai. And, you know, this is the first time that they've done something like this in a tower challenge. So what are your thoughts around this whole component that they've added?
I thought it was interesting. I gotta say, because this is something they have never done before. Because in previous horror challenges, every side quest that we've done was meant to get extra refresh tokens or even extra currency. That's what it was for mainly. It was like an optional. But then, with the exception of the tower challenge of the one with because that one you needed to do to unlock the future characters and the future collection. Because I remember that was the first time they ever done, and you were forced to do the quest. This is another one of those cases where you're forced to do it, and you have to do the quest to get a certain something. But this is different because you're doing the quest so you can earn the ears, and then with the others you can earn them with just using the Lion King characters if you have, because they're and Ed also collects them too. But of course you don't want Ed to be getting those tokens. He's getting the refresh tokens.
Yes,
So
he's always going out and getting those tokens.
yeah. So he's pretty much on refresh token. At least until the tower challenge is over, then yeah, by all means, that's what he's gonna be doing from now on. So yeah, it's actually interesting because that now that it made me, could it be possible that they'll do that with Lock, Shock, and Barrel in the future with the Nightmare Before?
Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities for this.
They just opened um, more opportunities, I guess you could say.
Sure.
They open more opportunities to do more characters, to bring them in different ways. which I like. This is something. Sure, I know people don't like this because people say they don't like change. I don't mind change, as long as it's reasonable.
I
Because that's Go
I
ahead.
I love change. Love it. I mean, I started out playing the game during the Big Hero 6 event, which was
Mm-hmm.
right after Tower Challenges began. And it
Right.
was like event, tower challenge, event,
Mm-hmm.
tower challenge, and the events would change a little bit. There'd be different facets to the events that would make them different.
Right.
But the
Uh huh.
tower challenge was the same thing over and over, and it felt
Over and over.
too repetitive. It got boring. It honestly
Yeah.
did. The tower challenges were just repetitive and boring. And I
Yeah.
think that with the last tower challenge, introducing the Sultan as a premium character, having them become a refresher, and giving us two characters that we're worked towards, and now
It
in
made a
this,
difference.
it did. It changed it up a little bit, and it
Yes.
introduced and opened up the path for this challenge,
For multiple characters.
which is 3 characters, which is 1 character per chapter, and I feel like it breathes new life into the tower challenge itself.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
what else I like is I like that they have the same character set through all 3 chapters that you can earn.
Right.
So a change is good. I don't want to stray too far off the topic,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I agree.
So I agree with you. I think that Banzai is awesome. I know that
Mm-hmm.
you welcomed Banzai. I welcomed
Mm-hmm.
Banzai. So yeah,
Yeah.
very happy with it.
Oh, a quick mention on the tower. Aside from tower challenges, the events have also changed too. If you've noticed, they seem to develop more as the events go. Because haven't you know? I don't know if you've been since the Snow White event.
No.
Because from the Incredibles to Snow White event, it's always been the same thing. It's always been getting the characters, even the main ones. You have to fight the villain and then welcome them in the end. Until they got to Winnie the Pooh, Stitch, and Big Hero 6. That's when you had to rescue the main hero. Because you had to rescue, like, say, Stitch. You had to rescue, who was it? Oh,
Baymax.
Baymax. Uh, yeah, and Winnie the Pooh also. And Ariel, I believe. That was the
Yeah.
last one, actually. Actually, Wreck-It Ralph was the last one that did. And after that, when we got the Princess and the Frog event, that's when we started going back to the villain one. And I was glad that it was back to that because I was kind of missing.
Yeah. No, it's cool.
Mhm.
I like the change. The events have definitely added elements, and it's been enough to keep it different. But the tower
Yeah.
challenge changes is really good.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about Chapter 2, just some other things to discuss about it. So, as we discussed, the available character to purchase with EC is Timon, whose price is now 5,000 event currency, down from 15,000. The featured attraction is the Festival of the Lion King, which was 5,000. Now it's down to 2,500 event currency.
Mhm.
The Ed
Yeah.
bundle is still available if you did not purchase it yet. That's Ed, plus the tokens to get him to level 2, plus 3 of Shenzi's ears and skulls. For that's $9.99 for the bundle. As we discussed earlier, the Cocoa bundle is available. 8 Cocoa refreshers for $1.99.
Yep.
And the premium character bundle that is available for this chapter is Louis. And it's $7.99, and it includes tokens to get him all the way up to level 3.
Yeah.
So
Was this Scrooge McDuck?
I'm sorry.
Was this Scrooge McDuck? Because you said Louis.
Oh, Lewis. Sorry, I apologize. I,
Oh,
ca-
Lewis. Okay. Okay.
I like call him Louis. I don't know why. It's Lewis, Louis. I,
That's why I got confused.
I'm
I'm
from.
like,
I'm a
Louis.
guy from New York that's talking about New Orleans characters. New Orleans characters.
All
All right.
right.
Don't hold it against me. I'm sure you Californians
No,
say
it's all
funny
right.
things too.
Actually, I don't think of that. I just found it. I just found it awkward.
Why is there a duck? What are you talking about? There's no ducks in this.
Yeah, this is Louis.
Yes. All right. Enough making fun of the host. All right. So the tower challengers for this first we have the Cinderella collection. We have Cinderella, the fairy godmother, Lady Tremaine, and Anastasia. We talked about Lady Tremaine being possibly one of the worst characters in the game. Lady Tremaine is being used once again. So Monsters Inc. we have and the Lion King. So we have Mike, Sully, Boo, Randall, and Timon. Then we have the Lion King and Dumbo slot, which is Dumbo, the Ringmaster, Timothy Q. Mouse, and Pumbaa. And Pumbaa is just consistently going out over and over and over and over again for me. There's my Cocos. Pumbaa is so hyped up on chocolate and caffeine in my kingdom that he's charging everybody, and it's not a pretty sight.
Well, they do call him the Mr. Pig. There you go. So, and I know because a lot of people don't have dumb, and that was people that were throwing them off. I was, well, crap, I'm screwed. I'm not gonna do well. So it's like,
yeah, well, I don't have Dumbo. I don't have the Ringmaster. And Timothy Q. Mouse is like level 5, so I was a little concerned about this chapter as well. But fortunately, I have the Coco surplus, so I'm just hyped up. Pumbaa's.
Pumbaa.
When I was a young warthog. All right. So the fourth slot is the Princess and the Frog characters, except for Lewis, and Lewis is the featured character in the slot. The progress rewards. So for this chapter, at 1,000 points is 500 EC. At 5,000 points is 2 radiant chests. 12,000 points is 700 EC. 22,000 is 900 EC. And then at 37,000 points is the grand stand, which is the chocolate crocodile stand. And that looks really awesome, and I can't wait to get one. So that is it for chapter 2. So let's talk about your thoughts on chapter 2.
I actually like this one. It hasn't been that bad, considering, because it's been well paced actually. So I'm kind of happy that I'm doing with it. I already have all of the tokens for the second set, so I'm just saving up the currency. At least I want to level up Banzai, but since he's using currency, which I find that kind of weird because I was hoping they would be potions instead. And I was like, okay, I'll just wait it out for a little bit and level him up again, because I actually wanted to use it to level him up.
Okay. All right, cool. I really liked this as well. I think it was a good chapter. I was a little nervous going in, but I think that my nerves were unneeded, because really what it comes down to is that if you just play your cards right, you can just hype someone up on caffeine and keep giving them cocoa. As long as you have one good character in the slot, then you're okay. You
just gotta keep sending them with cocos. That's it.
Yeah, Pumbaa is just the only guy doing any work for me in that section. But you know what? Like, that's the thing too, is another piece of advice I like to give, and I need to follow myself, is that for every character set, every collection, story, line, whatever you want to call them, get one character to 10. Try to focus on getting one character to 10, so that when you have a tower challenge and you have a premium or you have a featured collection, you have one character that you can consistently send out at 10 if you need to.
I agree. So
I feel like that, that should be kind of something to keep your eye on. Like, if you have everyone at like 8, you're just like the person that likes to get everyone to like 7, 6, 7, and like balance it out and make sure, like, try to get one person all the way up to 10, just so that you have that ace in the hole.
Yeah. I agree. I think that actually would keep. You can have one character to heavily rely on, so that way they could give you more. So, yeah, I agree.
And when Daniel agrees with me, I know I'm right. But okay, so that's chapter 2. So let's talk a little bit about chapter 3 and what we know so far, and some speculation on um, some things here. So what we do know from the leaks, or what we hope we know, is the characters that will be used in chapter 3. So if you didn't see these yet, then you're not following us on our social media. So make sure you join our groups and follow us on Twitter, because we've posted these a long time ago, so you can be prepared. But just in case you're not, you need to be prepared. All right, so chapter 3, we're looking at the first slot being Toy Story and The Lion King. So we're going to have Banzai as a helper, along with Scar and Timon, Jesse and Rex.
Mhm.
In the second slot, we have Lion King and Rapunzel. So we have Zazu, Rapunzel, Pumbaa, and some other horse-looking like character that I don't even know who he is. Oh, Maximus. That's who it is. I never see him, so I always forget who he is.
The
Um,
character that you hate.
I don't hate Maximus. I don't. I
No,
just think
yeah, I
I
heard.
just
I
I
heard
just
it in the
think
last podcast.
I just think he's terrible. All right. The third slot is going to be Toy Story, Jungle Book, and Lion King, and it's going to be Bagheera. It's going to be King. Who is it? King Louis or King Louis?
King Louis.
Okay, there is another Louis in the kingdom. All
It's
right,
King Louis.
Anala and the Toy Soldier. Um, so they're there, and then we have the Little Mermaid as the featured collection, with Prince Eric being the featured character, and then you have the rest of the cast supporting him in the fourth slot. So I guess the first question is, what do you think of this cast of characters for chapter 3?
Um, actually, I kind of expected it. I did expect those type of characters, especially DMK has a habit of more in-game characters like Jungle Book, Peter Pan, and those type of characters. That was no surprise there. But of course, people were shocked when they saw Dumbo in the chapter 2 section. But I mean, hey, you have to expect it in some ways. They they're gonna throw a curveball somewhere. They're not gonna make it that easy for you to just breeze through the whole thing unless you have everybody.
Yeah.
So it's like, but I mean, yes, I do expect characters like Jungle Book. I do expect characters like um what else? Yeah, the more advanced ones. I do expect more advanced characters coming in, the later on ones,
Yep.
and they have been coming out. And then Little Mermaid, there was no surprise that that was going to be Tower Challenge
Yeah.
at some point.
They haven't been used, if ever, but more not recently. So,
Yeah.
have they ever been a featured collection in a Tower
No,
Challenge?
this is the first time, I
Yeah, I
think.
don't remember either. So yeah,
No, because remember they skipped it with Wreck-It Ralph in the
right.
last Tower Challenge because they used because people thought they were going to use the Little Mermaid on the last one, but instead they skipped it over and went with Wreck-It Ralph instead.
Right. Yeah.
Because I remember that was the reason what happened, and I think that kind of threw everybody off.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like the way that they're doing it now. I have to say, I understand that will they're going to put end game characters in tower challenges. There's a point to
Mhm.
that, and it's to make it difficult,
Yeah.
and more rewarding for people who've been playing longer. Um,
Yes.
but the way that it was traditionally, which has changed, was just chapter 3 just got loaded with the end game characters. But
Yeah.
now they're
And now
kind.
there's yeah.
Yeah, now with the multiple characters in one slot, they've been, like Dumbo, for example, in chapter 2. So it's I think it's a little bit better the way that they're doing it, where they're spreading it out a little bit.
They're trying to. I think what they're trying to do is balance it for new and old players.
Yes.
I feel like they're doing a mixture of Mickey and Friends, a mixture with Toy Story, a mixture with Dumbo, a mixture with Peter Pan, a mixture with Pirates of the Caribbean, a mixture with and so on and so forth. And event characters if they choose to choose because they're mainly the main event one. That are the feature collection and then feature characters.
Yeah.
So but I
Well,
mean, I think it is fair in some ways. Even people will say they're complaining, saying, "Oh, but I don't have these characters. I'm not gonna make it." I mean, what can I say? All you gotta do is just play the game and see what you can get.
yep. Yeah.
That's
No.
what it's for. That's the idea.
Sure. No, I get it. And the interesting thing too about the cast of characters in this Tower Challenge is that since they decided to make Lion King like a featured collection for the whole event, is that
Yeah.
is that their Lion King characters scattered around throughout every single
Yep.
slot. Chapter slot 1, 2, and 3 all have Lion King characters in it. So
Hmm.
it's just something different, and I like it. It's a nice change, and I
Hmm.
think that in future tower challenges it would be nice to have them thematic as well. I think that
Yeah.
because of the Lion King movie and how big it is that they're doing this for it. But I
Hmm.
hope that this is something that they continue to um, have as something that they do
Hmm.
with a featured collection for a tower challenge.
Yeah.
So, all right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Right.
Any other
No.
last thoughts on that?
No. Not really. All right. I think I'm good. But
Okay. So, um, one other thing to talk about is that there's been some rumors and speculations that traditionally, when in during tower challenges, the first token in the first chapter that you can get for the main
yeah.
reward
Hmm.
is the token that switches that you would lose. So people say don't buy this until you have enough for the character, but this would be the one you lose and would turn into the common token for the character collection.
Right.
However, there's a lot of rumor and speculation that the item in the third chapter might
Hmm.
be the one that switches to
The
the
common
the
token.
common token. And so
Mm.
that's part A, and then part B is people are saying that it might even be cheaper, which traditionally, they get more expensive as we go along, and it might even be cheaper. So this is again, this is
Oh,
all just speculation. What do you think? Have you heard these rumors, and what do you think about them?
well, I didn't really hear about it until somebody mentioned to me in the group in the champions group because they were telling me that I think somebody tagged me. I don't remember her. She tagged me into to her page, and I was like to her post, and then she was telling me that they were going to switch out the last token with the first token, and I was like, but how's that going to happen? And it's like, and then when I saw Ed and Banzai's token. That made me realize because they're both bones. If you notice both of them, and since they're the bone token, that made me realize. Oh, now I can see why. Because now, so that means that they probably switched it out for that same reason.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's definitely a possibility. Because, and then to top it off, uh, I don't know. I'm not sure if they're gonna go cheaper. But I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it was more expensive either.
You know,
So,
but I guess how much more expensive? We went from 300 to 400, which no one was expecting. So
mhm,
far, the tower challenge has been significantly cheaper token wise.
yeah,
And I know that some of that is to account for Banzai being 2,500, but
yeah,
that's not too much. So I wouldn't
yeah.
expect this to be too much more. So
Well, minimum I would say 500. That's the minimum.
okay,
But I will say if it is expensive, I'll say about six. If they were to go from 400 to 600,
okay,
but we don't know yet. So we're
yeah.
just gonna find out sooner or later on Friday.
Yeah, we
Mm.
will. Well, we won't. We'll find out about that, but we won't find out about what's the common token. That is going to be a mystery or
No.
surprise. So what's your bet? If you had to place a bet right now on which token is going to be the common token, what do you say?
I'll say the last one.
You say the last one. I'm going to say the first one. I'm going to say they're going to keep it the same. So
You think so?
we'll see what happens. We'll see who wins the bet. All right.
All right. Let's see.
All right. We'll keep a tally on our pages.
So if I see that it changed, I'm gonna say Steve.
Yeah. I'm sure you say that a lot. Sure you say that a lot. I know my wife does. All right. All right, cool. So that is it. That's it for the game news and the Tower Challenge wrap up. So far so good. So let's just see. We're halfway through chapter 2. Chapter 3 will begin. Is it Friday? This Friday at Rope Drop, or is it Saturday?
I think Friday is when it drops. Chapter 3.
Friday at Rope Drop. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, let us know what you think. We want to hear what you think. We want your interaction. We want you to be a part of our community. So please make sure you join the Around the Kingdom Facebook group at ATK Podcast, Twitter at ATK Podcast. Join the Disney Magical Kingdom Champions group. Make sure you're part of the community. Join our Discord server so you can just chat with us. There's always Star Master's always in there, wanting to chat with you. So make sure you join the Discord. But all right, cool. So let's talk about the event of the week real quick. During Tower Challenges, the events are the leaderboards for points earned through sending people to the Tower Challenge. The top reward is for rank 1 through 50, and you get a Maleficent hat stand, 2 cocoa, and 1,000 event currency. Then for lower ranks, you get 2 cocoa as part of your reward, all the way down to rank 1,500. So if you work pretty decently, just kind of work at it, you should be able to get your 2 cocoa, and you're going to just get less EC as you go down the leaderboard. So Daniel, I guess, let's just say first is that the nice thing is that once again in this Tower Challenge, they kept the rewards the same for Chapter 2. So ranks 1 through 50 also get the Maleficent hat stand, where traditionally it used to switch to ranks 1 through 10. So it gives more people the opportunity to get this hat stand. Just real quick, how did you do in Chapter 1, and where are you on pace to be in Chapter 2?
In terms of the leaderboard, you mean?
Yeah.
Last I checked, I think I was placing like in 5th or 6th.
Okay. And did you finish top 50 last Chapter 1?
Oh yeah, I did. I ended up at first actually.
Whoa!
I was surprised.
Wow.
I was surprised actually. Because I think what I think happens. I think what happens is when I log in every 2 hours, and since I'm using the refresh token, I think people ran out of it, and I think they slowed down.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened.
Sure.
I think they slowed down, and they're like, you know what? I'll just wait it out until when all my characters refresh. So that's why I think the reason why I went up to first. But in this one, in Chapter 2, I'm like somewhere in the top 10. I'm not sure exactly where I am. I think I'm like in like 5 or 6. Maybe lower. Maybe.
Okay. Well, cool. I'm glad that you did so well. I kind of took it a slower pace here, and so I finished top 100, but I did not finish top 50. Again, I was sleeping through the night. So, but yeah, so that's cool. But I'm super happy that they have the same prize tier in Chapter 2.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's move on into the Disney Dad Joke of the Week. Dum 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 dum. All right. What did the Muddy Lion say to Zazu?
I don't know what.
Oh, I just can't wait to be clean. I've sang way too much this entire episode. I apologize to everyone. All right. All right. Well, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, let's move on. All right, so let's move on to our next segment.
Uh-huh.
Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is a segment where we talk about premium characters and attractions that you can get in the game through gems or elixirs. So this week we're going to talk about a recent purchase of mine that I'm going to get some insight from Daniel on.
Mm-hmm.
So that the is it worth it for this week is Toy Story Mania. So Toy Story Mania is an attraction that was released with the Villain Tower Takeover event, which which was on the 16th of October in 2018. So a little.
That'll be the tower challenge.
Hmm?
That'll be the tower challenge of the main.
Yep. So it can be purchased with 30,000 elixirs from Merlin's shop. It has a chance to drop Rex's Partysaurus helmet token. The collect time is 6 hours for that. Its size is a 12 by 13, so it's big and definitely takes up a fair amount of room in your kingdom. It's not one of those little attractions you can kind of squeeze into a corner. So it's definitely big. And so now what I have, and I don't know if you have any more updates than what was able to find, but I was able to find that for the first enchantment level, it drops virus tokens.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yep.
Why does it drop virus tokens? That was
Do you know who those are for? Do you know who those are for?
They were used in the Wreck-It Ralph event.
No. Those are used for Pleakley from Lilo and Stitch.
No, those are different.
Those are the Pleakley tokens.
Why would a Toy Story attraction drop Peakley? Well, I guess, yeah, okay. Are you sure that's the same thing?
Haven't you noticed? Haven't you noticed those walkie-talkie things? Unless it's for somebody else, but I'm pretty sure that's for them. But I could be wrong. But
I'm gonna, because I looked this up on the wiki earlier when I was doing my research, and it said the virus token was for. So you're saying Peakley's communicator token?
Yeah, it looks like
Nope.
a communication.
It is not. That is not.
Oh.
It is completely different.
Oh, never mind.
It is not Peakley's communicator token. It is a virus token. The virus token is used for the Wreck-It Ralph event. Why is this in there? I have no idea. Well, because the thing is that the Wreck-It Ralph event happened while you were able to purchase Toy Story Mania, because this came out in October. No.
No? Huh. Or I know it's not Spambly. I know it's not for Spambly.
It's for nobody.
Huh.
According to the wiki, this token is not for anyone.
This is okay. That's weird.
Yeah.
That is really weird.
It's really weird that you would enchant something to a level and not get anything usable out of it. I was completely confused by that. Maybe they'll be used again in some like other thing, like, you know. So is in Wreck-It Ralph. So maybe, you know, we have an event coming up at the end of the month. Most likely it's going to be for the.
But there was a Wreck-It Ralph legendary chest at the end of July.
Yeah, at the end of the month, there's going to be Wreck-It Ralph legendary chest, which we all kind of think is going to be some sort of BattleBots event.
Oh God, no!
And that's probably going to be for Scrooge's money bin. That's the speculation. So
I avoided it the whole time, and now I have to. If this is going to be the. Ugh.
So I don't know if virus tokens will be used maybe to drop or whatever, but anyway, it does nothing. So if you enchant it, you get nothing. All right, so enchantment level 2, when you get it to the second level, it starts dropping Abu's bread tokens. And then at level 3, it drops Lady Tremaine's ears. So that's as far as we know. We don't know what level 4 and level 5 are for this attraction. So that's it. So I just got it. So now here's the caveat. Big thing here, Daniel. If
Mm-hmm.
the question is it worth it for someone to get this versus something else in the Merlin's shop? So let's say Davy Jones' organ, or what are some other good 30,000 ones, or just even Jumpin' Jellyfish and the two Aladdin attractions. That's 30,000 right there. So
Or Captain Hook's boat.
Captain Hook's boat. Yeah. So there's lots of choices.
Yeah.
So is this worth it?
I guess it depends on where you are in the storyline.
Let's say.
I mean, I think it depends, because now that they're trying to do more drops from the Toy Story Mania, I think it just depends on where you are in the. You said it drops Rick's
Daniel.
Tyrannosaurus, right?
Daniel, let me ask you a question. Is there any other attraction in a Merlin shop that you would say, I'm going to buy Toy Story Mania over?
Probably only the ones that don't have any token drops. Like the Carousel of Progress.
Okay, that's a good point.
Or the Omnidroid City. That one too.
That Omnidroid City's from the legendary chest.
No, it's from the Incredibles, but it's in the elixirs.
Really?
Yeah, it is.
I got that in a legendary chest.
Yeah, it's in the elixir.
Oh, they moved
it. I saw somebody posting that, and it was in there too. So yeah, that was another one. So yeah, if it's like if it's certain attractions that don't drop any character tokens, then those could be win over Toy. Or actually, Toy Story Mini can win over any of those attractions, since it's now starting to get those vibes. God knows who those are for, because we have no idea. Because now that's a curveball that they're throwing at us.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that threw me off. I'm serious. That threw me off, because I thought it was Pleakley.
Yeah, I think maybe it's for BattleBots. If it is for BattleBots, it makes it a whole lot better. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But
that's what I'm saying. If it's the case, then I guess it is worth it. If that's the case.
So this is better than Carousel of Progress, better than Omnidroid City, but not quite as good as things like Davy Jones' organ, Jumpin' Jellyfish.
Unless you maxed all the characters out, then by all means get it.
Right, but I mean, we're not talking about that though. We're talking about just a regular old user, regular old person. So okay, right. So at least we know where it is. So is it worth it? Sort of. Okay.
Sort of.
All right. Cool.
I'll say sort of. Yes.
All right.
Yes and no.
Cool. All right. Let's move on into the feature report.
Mm-hmm.
Feature report. Feature report. Feature report is a segment where we talk about ideas or features we'd like to see implemented into the game. All right, so the first one is one that I totally agree with. It's from, and you'll excuse me if I'm butchering your name, is Blysium. And Blysium says they would like a way to search which characters are ready for level ups by the time needed. Yes, I love this. I would love to just be able to just be able to click a button and only know characters that have 1 hour level ups or 2 hour level ups, so I can just filter them and sort them. So I know just leave them, so I can just go boom, 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 and just or plan it out. You know what I mean? And without having to go into each character, go out. It's so inconvenient to try to manage your time. Going between collections and things, it's tough. So
it takes a while. It takes a while when you do that.
It does. It takes a long time, and you have to think. And then like in the morning, sometimes I if it's gonna get complicated, I have to make a list. And then when you're going through, if you do a 4 hour level up, and then after 2 hours you're sending your guys out again, and then you accidentally send the guy that you wanted to send out on a 6-hour quest. You're like, oh, why did I do that?
Yeah. Yep. That happens.
So
That happened to me when I was starting the tower challenge, and stupid me. You know what I did? I sent Bo Peep and Justy on a 24-hour quest to get Louis here. I was like, you idiot. Why did I do that? I was like, no. No, because Bo Peep collects the
that's the
refresh.
right, the
I was
Cocos.
like, no, why did I do that? And I regretted it. I was like, crap.
Yeah.
I regretted it. But then I was like, oh well, I'll just have to wait the 24 hours.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna waste gems on that. No way.
No. I made that mistake once at the beginning of a tower challenge, and I needed the character. I was like Elastigirl for an Incredibles event. I was like, well, I'm out 70 gems. Goodbye. But
Yeah.
okay, so I love that, and thank you for submitting that. That was a great one. I'm actually gonna say a feature report that I'd like to say from just piggybacking off of that one. I'd love to see queuing of characters. So maybe you could have, since everyone wants 2 character slots, right, where you have 2 characters that could level. Here's something a little different. Let's have it so that you could send a character out for, let's say, 8 hours, 16 hours, whatever. And then you could put someone in queue, or let's do shorter times. You could send someone out for 2 hours, but then you could put someone in queue, like waiting in line, right? And so as soon as that character levels up, the next character starts leveling up, the person in line. So this way you can always put someone else in line, so that you're not like wasting time. Like, let's say you send someone out for 2 hours, but then you forget to check your phone, and it's like 3.5 hours later. You've lost, I'm putting air quotes up here, but you've lost an hour and a half of time. So if you had someone queued and just waiting in line, then that person would have been, let's say it was a 2-hour thing, they'd be an hour and a half into their 2 hours. And then you could just throw someone else in line. And this way you're consistently getting people chugging through and leveling up. And I like that. I think that that would take a lot of stress out of the leveling up system.
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah, I think that sounds interesting. Yeah, but the only downside is if you do the sometimes if you want to send a character and they're on a quest, I don't think they would be able to do that.
Well, no. If you queued them, they wouldn't be available. You wouldn't be able to send them out.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Because they'd be waiting in line.
So it'll be pending, and then they'll go to they'll level up the next one right after that one is finished. Right. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. They'd be out of the kingdom.
Okay.
Like they'd be in like a separate like almost like you could turn like think about it, like you could turn the bank like when the bank goes away, and like you could and you could buy queue slots. Like spots in line, so you could have like 1 person in line, 2 people in line, 3 people in line. You could buy those slots with gems, and then you could put that would be awesome. I like that idea. Awesome feature report, Steve. Great job.
Yeah, that's good. That sounds good.
All right. All right. This one is from Austin. Austin says, when you click on a building, it will. Okay, so what he'd like to see is that when you click on a building, it will not only show you the next enchantment level, but a list of what token you will get at each level. This way we would know what attractions we would want to work on. Yes. 1,000,000 times yes. We were talking about this earlier with in the spreadsheet in Daniel's group. But it's like, who wants to sit there and stare at spreadsheets? You know what I mean? Like, I would love to just be able to click on an attraction and then be able to, like, see, what it does at every enchantment level.
Yeah, it would be nice if we were able to see what enchantment level is each. That way we'll get an idea if it's worth actually leveling up that one.
Yeah, because there's certain ones. There's certain ones. Even for I've been playing a little over a year. I know you've been playing a lot longer than that, but I've been playing about a year, and so for me there's attractions that I need to level up, and there are ones that will do me no good, and so I want to make sure that I'm able to quickly at a glance just look at it and say, okay, there's no way I need this attraction. I can ignore it. And then I could look at something else and say, okay, this has a benefit for me at level 3 or level 4, so I might as well work on it.
like Daisy's Diner, because
Exactly.
it was level 3 because it helps with Dewey's ears. No, the plane. Sorry, the plane token. But yeah, I see what you're saying. That it would be more beneficial to upgrade certain buildings and not upgrade just any random building, or otherwise you're just wasting a lot of relics and those are common relics and it's very rare if you get those legends. But to get those, you would have to open a chest. And there's 75 gems. That's expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Cool. Um, let's see what else we have here. For me, I have another one this week. I'm all over the feature reports. So this came from when we were talking about the concessions and how the concession stand times changed, and for people to be able to, you want to have your concessions out. There's multiple reasons to do it. One is obviously to maximize the amount of magic you're gaining. The others are for aesthetics. But if you're trying to maximize your magic, what I'd love to see, okay, is that when you're in the kingdom building mode, it would be great if it showed the collection time in the little box. So over on the right hand side, you're putting out your different concessions, and there's little boxes for each concession. And in the box, it shows the attraction, it shows the type now, so it shows like if it's food or souvenir or whatever. It shows the rarity, so now you see like 1 through 5 stars, and it shows you the quantity. So we'll say like times 5, times 6, whatever down on the bottom. It would be cool if like in the top right corner of that box or somewhere, like it said like 2H or 4H. You know what I mean? So that you knew how many hours it was to collect, so that you could make decisions based on that. Because I think that that's one of the biggest factors for why you'd want to put a concession stand down.
Well, I mean, DMK is going in the right direction of putting those type of signals for the concessions and rides and stuff like that. Because it will give you like a little symbol saying, "Oh, this is an attraction. This is a souvenir. This is a concession. This is a decoration." So I think in some ways it's a big improvement what they've done. But I mean, I do agree with what you're saying that they should add the time of how long each concession for those that want to send those.
Yeah. Even attractions too. I mean, just throw a little 2H or a 4H in the corner.
And that's what I like about DMK. They're experimenting, seeing what works and what does not work, and you know, change it up a bit. And that's what I like. That's how we were mentioning it earlier. That we like change, but not everybody likes it.
Yeah. Well, you have to like change if you're going to play this game.
Of course.
There was
That's what I've always said.
there was a
That's
lot
what I
of
always said too.
there was a lot of change in update 31, and I think it was all for the better. So
Yeah.
just
gotta
just
get,
just
you just gotta get used to it.
just don't change your second tower challenge character that you could earn to 15,000 EC. I don't like that change.
No. No. We don't.
Poor Timon.
No.
Poor Timon.
He
Okay.
was getting all the hate and everything.
and
at least,
and
to
Poom,
be nice to him.
yeah, and at the same time, Poom was just hyped up on caffeine, running around the kingdom. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, it's time to wrap up the show now. I want to let's see. So there were 2 new 5-star ratings. So thank you to the 2 people who gave us 5-star ratings on iTunes. Please make sure you go out there and do that to help us get seen. Shout outs. Again, my special shout out goes to Patricia and Austin for their help in getting the concession spreadsheet made. So big shout outs to you guys. Thank you so much for the help. It made a huge difference in making an awesome piece of content for the group. So thank you. Daniel, got anyone?
My shoutouts goes to my Magical Kingdom champion. So thanks for all of you guys that are watching, and thanks for the love and support you all have, and a big shout out to my family, and yeah, that's about it.
All right. Awesome. Well, next week's show, Geeky Chick returns to join me as we wrap up the Tower Challenge and discuss what might be coming next to the kingdom. I'm sure that, think about Chapter 3 starting on Friday. It wouldn't
Yeah.
surprise me if we start getting teasers or something, in the upcoming, weeks, or in the upcoming days to what might be coming next to the kingdom.
That'll probably be until like after the tower challenge is over. That's what they'll probably throw the hint.
Sometimes they would do it even before, but I don't know. We got battle bots coming, so they might wait till the battle bots are over,
Probably.
and we're all angry with battle bots, and then they'll be like,
I
oh,
expect
look,
an event. I expect an event until August.
no event until August.
I expect it to the beginning of August.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Because that's what I've been telling everyone. Expect an event on August. Because right now they've been doing all these Toy Story fiasco. They've been doing these tower challenge. So it's been a little bit nuts the last 2 months.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, if you want to be more involved with the show, you can follow us on Twitter at ATK Podcast and like our Facebook page at facebook.com/ATK Podcast. Here you're going to find out before anyone else about breaking news that we hear, information on contests and giveaways, when new shows are published, and of course my ramblings and photos from my day-to-day playing. The show's Facebook group is up, and it's a great way to easily interact with me and the other fans of the show as we talk about our favorite game. The link to our group will be in the show notes and can also be found on our Facebook page. You can also write into the show. Our email address is aroundthekingdompodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you think about the show, what's working, what's terrible, or any other topic you want to write in about. You can even just write in if you want to say hi. We're now on YouTube, so if you want to watch the show and see me and my awesome guests, please head on over and subscribe to the channel, like the video, and smash the bell to get notified when a new show goes live. The link to our channel will be in the show notes, and don't forget to join us in our Discord channel to chat with us as well. If you want to help support the show, please head on over to iTunes, subscribe to the podcast, and leave us a 5-star review. Doing this is quick and easy, costs you nothing, but helps us greatly to be seen by other people so they can enjoy the show also. All 5-star reviews will be read at the end of each episode. Listening to the show is all we could really ask for, but if you do want to help support us in another way, please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/aroundthekingdom. We're halfway towards our first show goal to help the production of the show, and it's a great way to show your support for about $1 an episode. All Patreons will get a special shout out at the beginning of every episode, and again, it's patreon.com/aroundthekingdom. The link will be in the show notes. Thanks again for joining us this week. I am Steve Squirrel. For myself and Daniel, we hope you have a great night, and we will see you around the kingdom next week.
Bye, guys.